place where they should be the safest, in school.
Let's go to Minneapolis now, where we can speak to Democratic Congresswoman from Minnesota, Representative Betty McCollum. Congresswoman, thank you very much for joining us on BBC News today on this dreadful day for your state. You flew back to Minneapolis upon hearing this news. What is it like there at the moment?
Well, I'm in St. Paul. We're the Twin Cities. I represent St. Paul, but Minneapolis is the city of my birth. And everybody is grieving. And our deepest, condolences to the parents who've lost two children, and to the children and the staff and the faculty who were in there during this horrific incident. This is going to be something that's going to take a long time for them to recover from. It'll always be part of their life. And it shouldn't have happened. Churches, places of worship, synagogues, mosques are supposed to be safe places to be. These children were praying, and they were praying about having a bright future and a lot of hope for a great school year. So it is, incomprehensible for many of us that this happened on such a beautiful day here in Minnesota.
How would you describe the broader community there now? I mean, the police chief O'Hara said that unfortunately gun attacks like this is something the community has been dealing with there for some time. It's not new, he said.
Minneapolis has had quite a few shootings even in the past couple of days. Minneapolis Police Department has gone through extensive training in de-escalation. And, what we're seeing the federal government do is cut some of the grants that police departments like Minneapolis and St. Paul rely on, for whether it's working on domestic violence crimes or how to really get at the heart and stop the gang violence that we're seeing happening in some of the cities around this country. The federal government under Republican leadership has cut that funding.
And indeed, you voted yourself many times in Congress to ban assault weapons, restrict gun access, for greater background checks. But these efforts fail, and every time one of these events happens, as the school principal said today, people pledge never again. And yet here we are again. Why is that?
I don't understand it. These weapons used to hunt and target human beings shouldn't be readily available the way that they are. And Minnesota has some good gun laws, but federally we have to have better gun laws. When I was first elected to Congress, we had a ban against assault weapons. Now assault weapons are prolific around the United States and being used in so many of these tragedies, like what happened today. Today it was at a school. Today it was at a church. There were parishioners there, teachers, parents, very young children. This was just a heinous, cruel act, and it's really struck our community. Let's pray for the families, but Congress needs to stop praying to get a solution. Congress has the solutions in front of them. We need to pass common sense gun laws. We can still have people hunting and fishing, and have rights to have weapons for that. But a person who just goes out and buys a shotgun, a rifle, and a pistol, and doesn't need it for self-defense, isn't a licensed hunter. It's ridiculous to have that kind of access to those weapons. And the police think there might even be more that this person would have had access to.
Congresswoman, what does it say about America if schools, if places of worship are not safe havens?
It says that government is not doing its job. We have a job to protect, of course, the right for people to have access to firearms. It's in our Constitution. But with that comes responsibility, not just responsibility for the person who owns and has those weapons, but a responsibility for local government, state government, and federal government to make sure that those weapons aren't turned on people. And that's where the government has failed to protect its citizens.
Okay, Congresswoman Betty McCollum joining us there from St. Paul in Minnesota. Thank you very much.
Thank you.